What's going on, everyone on YouTube? Let's look at another dividend stock today, see if I can add it to my portfolio. So right now I am trying to build a bridge account.
Account designed to carry you from whenever you retire, say your early 50s, until you do reach age 59 and a half and can begin to make penalty-free withdrawals from those retirement accounts. So what is a bridge account? Well, most often a bridge account is a savings or taxable investment account that's funded with after-tax dollars.
For my retirement. So let's look at some of these stocks and bonds. Well, this dividend stock. What are my requirements for it? Number one, it has to be a good growth stock. Number two, it has to be paying dividend. Of course, it's going to my dividend portfolio. And number three, it has to be financially stable with a good outlook of the future. Now, what stock am I going to look at today? It's going to be Ford's Motor with the dividend yield and the history. So let's start with what Ford Motor is. It's a car company and they have electric, gas, all types of vehicles. So let's look into the dividend yield. It has a dividend yield of 6.17, an annual dividend of 0.60, recent payout March 3rd, and they have an annual 3-year dividend growth of 44.22% with a dividend payout of 41.10, which that's a pretty good dividend payout. Now, if we look at the history of it, let's look at it. Stock and they pay out every quarter, and it looks like they've been paying out every single year without missing. So, yes, they have a good dividend paying history. Now, exile this. Now, before we get into all that, let's look at the Ford Motors growth history because it doesn't matter to me if it pays a dividend because I have a long ways before retirement or even touching this money. So what I'm trying to do is to have a good growth. It's the major thing. It's important to me. So since that's important to me, what I'm going to do is look at the history, and the 1 month it grew 1.78. Year to date, it's negative 0.24%. 1 year it dropped 25.63%. Now, what that means to me is even if I get the dividend payout, I am losing valuation due to it losing valuation at 25.63% that year compared to my dividend of 6.17. So I'm losing money on this deal. Now my 3 years is negative 40 and my 5 year is 90.29%, which, hey, it may have room for growth. Just because this chart says it's not doing well doesn't mean that it's not going to have room for growth. There's a lot of reasons why the vehicle market isn't doing as well, and right now the stock isn't really doing well. So let's see if it grew. So they have a slow growth when I look at the revenue growth. So that is one of the things you have to look at. For year to year, they grow, drop due to looks like COVID year. It grew. Okay, so it looks like it's been growing. Now the issue I have here is gross margin is 8.38 with a net profit of 3.19. That is not a lot of room for growth in it. Just because the financially right now it could anything could happen. Now this is still a large amount of money. Now because of that, I'm not sure if this is a good number for Ford. Be honest to me, I don't like this. So financially, I don't think this is sound. Yes, they have positive years and negative years. So it's a really risky company to get into just because they have good years and negative years. So they might not have the money. So let's look at who invested in there. Vanguard, BlackRock Inc., State Street. So they do have a very good holdings. So they have a lot of good people holding this or large corporation holding this. Top buyers. Okay. So you have a large amount of people buying it. All right, so this company, let's see what AI says about BlackRock real quick because let's scroll down so we can have a good look at it. So the valuation is 4.5, and I kind of agree with that. The earning is 3 out of 6. Future growth is a 0. Historical performance is 3, and then financial health is a 2. So with this information, I will tell you I will not invest into this company. Now, it does pay a good dividend and it has a good dividend yield. So if you are looking for a company that pay dividend, but this is a company that pays a high dividend yield. It's just, to me, this company doesn't look like it's gonna be doing so well. Now you do have a bunch of good investors, but I'm looking for that growth factor. If they're not growing, then I'm gonna not get a good return on my investment. And that's the thing about it. You are need to look for investment that give you a good return. So based off all this information, and everyone needs to do their own due diligence whenever they come and look at the stocks. So for me, this stock is not worth it. Ford Motor is a no-go for me just because financially it is right there borderline not making profit and making profit. Two, the that the future growth of this company is a 0 according to AI, and I don't see a growth potential in my eyes. I do like Ford, but they make reliable cars somewhat, and the cars stay on the market longer, or the cars stay driving longer, so not as many people buy cars. So when cars get more reliable, dealerships don't get as many sales. That's just how it works. And number 3 on this one, just because it has a good dividend history doesn't mean that it's worth buying. Because this one has a great dividend yield with a good growth for it. It's just the valuation is going down faster than the dividends paying out a year. That's my opinion on it. Like and subscribe to my video and comment down below what do you think about Fords.